Hi and welcome back to my playthrough of Unsettled, visiting lovely Wenora. In the meantime, I think we do have a name for our blue character, and I think we are going to call him Tom Ness. And credit to Paul, who kind of managed to tie all of this to Narnia. Enough being said about this. He made the reference because of Lucy here, who happens to be a red shirt. Also an amazing reference by Chicago Twilight. It seems Lucy has to die sooner or later in this episode of Unsettled. Okay, but yeah, awesome comments. Thanks for those. So we have Tom, we have Lucy, and I believe, as I've not seen any comments in respect to any rule school, so yeah, I guess I should be okay. I mean, my worst concern was about the scarab counting as a node in respect to those toxic spore clouds here, and I still think we should be okay. Because yeah, no fungal plants up growing on our ship. I think with that being said, we may be able to move back to poor red shirt Lucy here. And yeah, start our next round. I mean, there are no real game rounds in this game. It's basically a back and forth, but yeah, you get the idea. So yeah, what's our game plan for this turn? In theory, we might consider removing some of those toxic spore clouds, but we want to, because keep in mind we have this absorb pearlescence ability here, or anomaly. When we discard it, we are able to also remove up to 2 of those toxic spore clouds, either on our node and or adjacent to a node. So that's pretty amazing. But it's not Tom's turn yet. Lucy goes first, and that's maybe one of the things which I typically prefer in a game, especially in a cooperative game, when you can, I don't know, decide on who goes first. Totally different game. It typically makes the game a little bit longer because you have more discussions on who goes first, who goes next. So in this case, it's much simpler. Someone goes first, and then we are following around the table in a clockwise manner. And I think this is the idea here too. But that's okay. We should be able to deal with it anyway. Lucy is fine, so she doesn't start her turn on a node with a toxic spore cloud, so we are not seeing our first distress card here. And I guess there is no reason not to use her free move into this space here, into the field of hover blossoms. So in theory, she could now harvest a ton of data and materials and whatnot. She could also start building this lab here, but here I'm really thinking about, I think someone needs to build this. What could we go there? I think we could build the laboratory here because of Tom's comprehension. And I guess, oh yeah, I think we have forgotten. Yeah, she's moving over here. Yes, we have to deal with that. No, that's absolutely true. So she gains 1 step of comprehension and we are losing 1 time, which means we are wrapping around here. Everyone is losing 1 endurance, but let's not, oops, this was a red one. Let's not forget her insight. So 1 more step and she will also be able to get a comprehension. And again, we need this comprehension in order to build those labs somewhat cheaper from a time perspective, at least. Okay, this was her free move action. And of course, I reduced Tom's endurance accordingly off camera here. I think she's not gonna build something here. I think this could be really something now for Tom to deal with, because again, of his first level of comprehension. So she might decide to continue to move on or explore the planet. I'm pretty sure we will have to make it to the swampy quagmire on the left side of the board. At least I'm pretty sure about this. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been really. Well, this could be a decoy. Who knows? Okay, we can still use Luna just to keep exploring, and I think that's what we are going to do. And by the way, in order to win, we also have to move Luna to our space, by the way. So we cannot just leave her on the planet in order to count it as a full win. There's also a partial victory, but it's very sour victory. So yeah, I think let's use the freebie to move Luna over here. And here we have found Bleeding Clathrus Grove. So we have moved her over. So that's a pretty cool move. So we are not losing any time, but gain 2 insight for that. And here we do have, when entering, if you don't possess fungal host, oh, that's bad. We would then get a distress. So maybe discarding it. It's not our best bet, or discarding this Absorb-Person from Tom, actually. Yeah, I think for now, our breakthrough needs material. So I think with her free scan action, for this turn, Luna will scan for material. And that's 1. Okay, that's not a 0, that's a 1. That's okay, that's okay. We have to live with that. That's definitely better than nothing. We only get 1 anyway, with a standard action, that is. Okay, those were basically all of her free actions. So now we have to start using some dice, actually. And the thing now is, she's in a kind of bad spot here, because if she ends her turn there, on the other hand, Tom could still get rid of this Absorb-Person. And I'm really not sure, as I've not played this game, and especially this mission before, how bad it is getting those distress, getting those things around, those toxic spore clouds. Maybe they're not that big of a deal after all. I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, I think I have made up my mind, and for whatever reason I'm thinking about not sending Tom back to this field of hover blossoms to build the laboratory. I feel this feels rather wasteful to me, actually. So we are either going to build not the workshop and not the laboratory. I think we are going for the research hut, and we can place any die there, actually. So I guess doesn't really matter too much. We are going with the blue die here. So we have to flip it down. We will take this one here. This is now something which I don't know the order, but I believe we are only flipping this at the end of her turn, actually. I think so. I really think so. So this is her first movement action. I think with her second, she might really consider now moving over here, because this would give her a lot of insight and comprehension then. And then they're on the same space, and maybe this is something they can work with. And we are not adding more spore clouds here, by the way. 1 is 1. If there is 1, that's enough. We are not adding 2 or 3 or whatever. I'm not sure if that's a chicken, but then on the other hand, there's nothing really left to do on this space, other than, of course, going for some material. And this is something which when I edited the video, I really thought this was a bad idea, having Luna scan, I think, for materials here. I think we should have moved Luna and then scanned here. I'm pretty sure this would have been the better idea, but that's okay. Let's traverse using the proper die here, because this gives us 1 bonus insight. So we are moving over here. We're getting ourselves our first comprehension, our engineering comprehension, and the proper breakthrough card for Lucy. And here we have apply cerebral cortex shock. A local explorer gains +2 focus for 1 energy. I think that's pretty amazing. I think this, and a local explorer can be herself, actually. So I think that's very nice. It costs us again 1 energy, and we can basically also spread those 2 upward arrows here for the focus, so we don't have to assign these to 1 single die. But it's 1 explorer. I think we cannot then mix and match between explorer. At least that's how I understand. Okay, that's amazing. And I think, yeah, then what next? We have to set our insight die now. So I think let's also give her a green one, for whatever reason. Should we keep her? Should we have 1 specialized? Maybe. Let's try that. Let's try that. So she will continue to specialize on engineering. And then, of course, we have to take our action. So we are traversing over here. We are getting 2 more insight. That's pretty nice, but unfortunately, time is still ticking. I mean, in theory, she could now go for the free action. Tom could go for his free actions, whatever. But I think right now there is no reason to do that. So she will end her turn, which means our wonder die goes 1 space up. And yeah, this means time is ticking again. Then we are doing a, I don't know, this was a 2. I think it's A regroup, exactly. And I believe now we are flipping the research hut. And as of now, we can now use the research hub from everywhere on the board, basically any number of times for a data to get one insight. Not so keen now on this inside action, which of course could be huge at some point in time. No, for us it's our goal. We have to build these 3 things. And now I'm really regretting having Luna moved in here. I think we should have moved her because no one will be able to reach any further. Yeah, that's a problem now. I mean, again, I can move with these guys up or down just to live with it. I mean, if something like this happens, then yes, I'm basically toast. But this is something that what Tom could do next, to say, I will now move up here. If something like this happens, I happen to be or happen to possess the fungal host, so we are okay. No, I think that's okay. That's okay. And then I think we can continue with Tom. There are no toxic spore clouds here. That's nice. So we are not getting any distress. And in theory, we could now soak up some energy, but I think we are wasting 1 point here. And it's a free action in theory. Of course, we have to place a die, but it's still free. So definitely something to consider. But I guess first of all, let's clear the path to our maybe target. Again, I have no clue if this will be a target. This is something I have not checked out the whole task in detail. I only checked the setup and the first task when I set the game up here. So I have no clue what the next task sequences are. But I guess let's at least consider this. And we have to keep them in the same orientation as the scarab. Maybe I should have mentioned that we are not allowed to whatever move this around or flip this or whatever. No, this has to stay in that orientation. Okay, we have found a crystalline forest, and yeah, it's a building site. And overall, we can come here cheap, really cheap. That's, I think, a good thing actually. We are not spending any time moving in here. That's a 2-timer, but this is where we have maybe our breakthrough, the ingest pearlescent slurry, which allows us to ignore time tokens on those edge cards for the entirety of our turn. Pretty amazing stuff. And as we need material, I think we will have Luna again scan for material. Only a 1, but that's okay. We have to live with that. Let's move it back. And then that was pretty much the turn of Tom. The free stuff for Luna during Tom's turn. I should be more clear. The thing now is, if I move Tom out here, we are leaving a toxic spore cloud behind, which then ultimately means our red shirt Lucy will get a distress card. So in theory, I could say I'm going to forfeit the free movement and simply traverse and take Lucy with me. Might be a good idea, but then again, we cannot really, because every move we are taking, we are leaving a spore cloud behind. And yeah, but if we are traversing in here, we could still investigate. That's okay. And then maybe during Lucy's turn, she could also go for a breakthrough here. Maybe that's not a breakthrough, sorry, for an anomaly and a discovery. Maybe that's not bad, actually. Maybe that's not the worst idea in the world. And again, I have no clue what I'm doing here. So we are going with this one here. We are moving this now to the time marker, which is okay. We are fully allowed to do that. This gives us 1 insight because we use the energy die. And as we are traversing now, we are allowed to take 1 explorer with us. We are still taking the 2 insight. The problem is this does not affect the person we are carrying. So only Tom is now getting those insights. But this means we are moving 1, 2 spaces up. We are getting our next comprehension. And I keep forgetting that's the robotics one. Exactly. We are taking a breakthrough card accordingly. And let's see what we get. Let's get Luna's encyclopedic evaluation. An explorer on Luna's node gains 2 comprehension. So that's nice. We can use it anywhere. And if we happen to be at Luna's node, then any explorer could get 2 insight there. Yeah, I don't know if that's any helpful or not, but yeah, I have to live with that. But let's not forget to place a toxic spore cloud in here. That's the space we have left, but at least no one is starting their turn. Of course, sooner or later I have to start moving back, but right now, let's see about that. We should be fine. And now, okay, oh boy, wait a second. When entering, oh yeah, I think she gets a distress now anyway, because when entering is being triggered when you are carried. At least I think. And yes, that's the case. Okay, stupid me. In theory, I could take it back, but because I have now gotten a comprehension out of this, because otherwise I would not have made it past then, I cannot take it back, obviously, and I won't. So yeah, we will see our first, distress. But first of all, we still have to assign this die. So she's an engineering expert, but I still think everyone should have any of those. So he will also look a little bit into engineering for his next piece. And then, yeah, we have to deal with the distress. On this planet, all of those distress cards are the same, at least I think. Not sure if that's the same thing on other planets, but here it seems they're all the same. I shoveled the heck out of this card, then I looked at them, more by accident really, and then noticed, okay, they seem to be all the same. So and then I checked, then it really seems they're all the same. So we are now infected, and when we gain the distress, our group trust will go down. Basically, one, or depending on how you see the two things will happen. As our group trust is low, we have to flip our ability to the black side. So we are now the skeptic. So we are moving this now away from the theorize, or from the theorize action to the investigate action. So we are really skeptic now. So this has changed somewhat. Pursue an opportunity on your node, then, I mean, that's not bad, right? That's really not bad. So we can now start using any die, and we are getting the two thing anyway. I mean, that's maybe a good thing for her, but let's see what happens to him actually. The intellectually goes to the recover action. Okay, the recover action gets somewhat weaker, it seems. Instead of 3 arrows up, it's 2 arrows up. We're getting 2 insight for that. My mind is tirelessly at work, sometimes at the expense of the task at hand. The group trust will still go down because everyone gets suspicious. Why are you recovering? What are you doing here? You should help the team. I think that's the background for that. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's really bad or not, but I'm now really a bit disappointed about myself, or with myself, to basically wasted the die for the traverse action. I really should have paid attention. We must not forget to place the distress card onto one of those spaces. We could in theory do this, but I believe she may want to go for the investigate action relatively soon, I believe. So maybe covering up the traverse action, but that will limit our movement. So I'm not sure if that's the best thing in the world. Support, I think for now, because he doesn't have a distress, we can put this in here, and anytime we can spend 1 focus from anywhere to move this to another space. That's something I guess you should try to avoid, but sometimes maybe we really need the support action, and then yeah, we can still move it somewhere else, basically for free. But okay, that was a lot, and yeah, things are still moving slowly, or slower than I anticipated, but I still have to explain stuff. And then we still have 1 more die left, and in theory we still have 1 more movement. The problem is, if again I could continue to move, but doesn't really change a thing, because we would leave a spore cloud behind. And you can have more than 1 distress card apparently, and I think when your board is full and you're getting 1 more, then yeah, we are all losing an entrance. Also bad thing to do. So I guess either we are now going for the unearthed materials here, but there is only 1 waiting here. On the other hand, we could now investigate, just to get some more opportunities out for Lucy during the next turn. And it's really cool that the red shirt got this distress now. Pretty nice. Yeah, I think let's do that. So in theory, I could go for the wonder die and investigate here to get an insight. But I think going down to another time, not sure if that's the best thing. And right now we are still at the starting space of our insight track for Tom. So no, we will go with the, I keep forgetting, it's not the awareness. It is the awareness, yeah, it is the awareness die. So we are not getting the bonus, but we can still trigger the action, which means we are placing our next momentum token onto this space. We are drawing our next opportunity card. So let's see what we get. And that's a skittish pentapod. Oh wow, a tricky acquisition. So this fella is moving rather fast, it seems. A scampering in the undergrowth draws your attention to a wildly cautious five-legged creature. The frailty of its build is impossible within known science. The slightest move to approach results in the creature's immediate and frantic retreat. Immediately, a local explorer without fungal host places themselves on an adjacent node. You must be kidding me. I hate this game. I really do. So we are basically jumped, and I'm not sure. I mean, in theory, we could move, maybe we should move Lucy in here now. On the other hand, yeah, but do we want to give her 2 more? Oh, this is so bad. This is going down so fast. I have no chance of winning this because I know what's about to happen then. Maybe we do have to use this thing. And again, we can use our interrupts ability anytime now. I think we have to. We really have to. No, each explorer without each local. Oh, I'm not even reading this. So it has to be Lucy, actually. And I think then in this case, we are moving Lucy over here, which means we are leaving a toxic spore cloud behind because in a panic or whatever, she's moving out there because this thing is moving so fast. So we are placing this next and we need 3. That's so terrible. And I mean, yeah, we have saved ourselves a movement now, and now I'm really considering to move to use our absorb pearlescence actually, just to get rid of this. I don't want another distress now. Yeah. So as a free action, Tom is discarding the fungal host here, the winged fungus. Chemistry is present. He has the chemistry comprehension, so we have to discard it. I believe it goes back to the display. This one is out for now, and again we can remove one here and one there, one from here and one from an adjacent node. I think that was important now, and again saves our retrieve to some extent. I think maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. Of course, we have now lost our thing, our fungal host, so we will not be able to use this, but maybe that's not the end of the world actually. Let's see about that. Okay then, let's rest. So we are improving our wonder cube, and again we'll advance time, and then we are regrouping. And by the way, we can still use this die. The problem now is with this energy die, for every pip we would have to move him down, we would lose 1 unit of time, which sounds disastrous. Okay, back to Lucy. I think I will do 1 more turn with her. Good thing is we are now on toxic spore cloud free environment, so I think that's not a bad thing. Now we could debate on going for another discovery here, or we could simply build our lab. Or not the lab, it's the build workshop, and I think that's what we are going to do. Because we basically use it here, we will still have to spend 1 of our dice, but because we have the comprehension, we are not losing 1 extra time. That's definitely helpful. But which die are we going to go for? Does it matter? Does it matter? I think it doesn't. Maybe not the traverse, maybe. I think we can go with the green one, which is the wonder. So I already flipped it down. It was on a 2. So we will be able to use the workshop as of the next round. That's 2/3 of our first subtask. I like that. I really do. Then I guess, are we going to investigate, or are we gathering some resources first? Because right now we are in no danger. And I think we want to have the materials first, right? Yeah. So we are going for this die. We are placing it here. It will go down. We have not used the bonus, but that's fully okay because there is only 1 material here. So we are moving this to our stockpile accordingly. And by the way, if you might ask, hey, you could have Luna scanned for more materials, no, that's not allowed. As long as there is material, you can no longer scan for material. You can scan for data if material is present and vice versa, but if there is already at least one of those tokens, then no, you are not allowed to do that. Okay, but then we still have some some things to do with Luna. That's the nice puzzly aspect of this game, really figuring out your things. And I think forgot to place one of those scanned tokens here, or investigated tokens in here, so we can, right now we have the momentum, so we know it's there, but I think we have to place something there. And I guess we are scanning with Luna first, and I think I really want some data too, so let's scan for data. Wow, that's, I guess, a 3, right? Yeah, that's the 3. 3 data we are placing here onto the crystalline forest. Nicely done, Luna. Of course, we still don't have it. And then we are moving Luna up here. And oh, there's another lab. Oh, that's nice. Or basically a building site. That's cool. That's the monolithic spore pillars, which is kind of, yeah, I think it's really okay. The only thing we would lose moving up here is 1 time. So maybe not the end of the world. Okay, I really take that. That's pretty cool. And then I guess we are resting. So we are moving this up and thus spending one more time. Okie dokie, back to Tom. Again, he's okay in respect to any spore clouds and whatnot. Problem is he doesn't have any more fungal nodes. The thing here is it only says when entering, so we are totally okay right now. So I guess, I mean, the idea was to have maybe Lucy go for one of those discoveries, but now he has lost his, so it doesn't really matter too much. So in theory, he could go after this one. The problem now is it requires 3 focus pips in order to do that, and all the dice of Tom are only added to, which again, it's okay. I can set the blue die. We are losing 1 time. Again, 1 time may not be the end of the world, but we will get this skittish pentapod. And again, I forgot to place it onto the opportunity card, but I will do that just now. But I believe before I commit myself, let's do stuff with Luna. First of all, we want her to scan for material up there. Only 1, but that's okay. We have 1 material now. That's at least something in our stockpile. And then we will move her over here. We have to really get to know our surrounding. Okay, what is this? The electromagnetic polypore maze. Okay, it costs us some time to move in there, but that's okay. And when entering, if you possess rare polymers, we gain 2 energy. Okay, it's not bad, but of course we want to get the energy, right? So maybe when we go for this skittish pentapod, we might be able to find the rare polymers. Pretty sure that's something we will find in the anomaly deck here on Wenora. And I really start to like this game a lot, actually, for these explorational kind of aspects of it. I really do. Yeah, we still haven't done stuff, right? So I guess we really do want to go. I think we have to go for this momentum here. I think so, yeah. But which die to spend? I guess we are going for the theorize action. So it has to go down 3 pips. 1, 2, that's still okay. Next time it would move, we can't move it. We are losing 1 more time. So at the end of Tom's turn, we will definitely lose 1 more entrance. And wow, time is ticking so fast in this game. But that's okay. We were able to, capture or catch the skittish pentapod, which means we are drawing a scientific anomaly. And that's an amazing one. Powdery, vacuum up fine particles. And if we discard it and we have the robotics, we have a robotics, we can discard it. All explorers within 1 node will lose 1 distress. That's amazing. That's simply amazing. So cool. Of course, I was hoping for those rare polymers, but this is also pretty cool, actually. So let's remove the momentum token here. We already marked it that, I think we can no longer go in here and do stuff. We still have 1 more normal action left, actually. And yeah, of course, I could now remove the distress of Lucy with this vacuum up fine particles. And I think this is more powerful card if you're playing with more than 2 explorers, at least I think. But yeah, that's what it is. Then we still have an action, and we still have our free move, by the way. So I guess we could move back here. We are not losing any extra time and could still investigate, actually. That's really not bad. So we are moving over here. We are only gaining 2 insight, which of course is a good thing, moving us up accordingly. And with our wonder die, we are bringing it down. This gives us yet another point of insight. We are investigating. So we are bringing down yet again this disc here, and doesn't really matter. No, I think, can we? I mean, it's still not, I'm not sure if this is resolved now. I have to really read it. I think it's really clearly explained in the rules when you remove those, but let's go with a pinkish purple one here instead anyway. And something terrible could happen, and that's the breathtaking bloom. A mountainous fungal flora explodes from the soil. It blooms with light and color so profound the world goes still. Then it violently furls into a gnarled mess of wilted, dripping remains. Beneath the carnage lays a fist-sized seed, hypnotically wrapped in a strange black smoke. Nice. Immediately a good thing happens. Each local explorer, you must be kidding me, can now up one of their pips. That's an interesting one. And I guess we are upping either the energy or the wonder die. Does it matter too much? This one is going to 1 because we are placing it on our rest action. I think having one with some more, yeah, let's definitely up this one here. Let's do that. Let's definitely do that. Cool. Of course, again, I forgot to place the investigated token here, and as we left, we have to leave a spore cloud behind, but that's fully okay, I guess. We have to put this breathtaking bloom onto the opportunity card. And I guess with our last die, we have to rest, bringing this up. We are losing 1 time. This has to wrap around, so we are again on our starting space, which means each of us will lose 1 level of endurance. And of course, so does Lucy. And by the way, I forgot to regroup her dice. So if you happen to see them in previous shots, now I have caught this and removed this. I think, again, nothing bad happened. The only thing I forgot, of course, with Lucy's turn was to flip the workshop here. So basically anyone could have used it. So with now 1 energy, we can move Luna 1 space ahead. And that's simply amazing. And we can do that as long as we are willing to spend energy. So I guess that's pretty powerful, actually. Cool. I like that. But I think it's really not the most important thing in the world for Tom's turn. I simply forgot that. But that's pretty much Tom's turn. So let's try not to forget the regroup. So we are removing all of his dice. We are removing the card here, the opportunity card. And I guess with this, I'm going to wrap it for today. I really do hope you are still enjoying my little playthrough of Unsettled here. I must say I do. I have some minor doubts now in respect to scaling between players, if it's more difficult with 2 players or 4 players, because some of those really do say each explorer and so on, but this could also go or count against you, actually. So I'm not 100% sure. Of course, more explorers could do more stuff, but they also would spend more time. So I'm not sure, but some of the abilities, of course, sound like they could make more sense. They could be more powerful with more explorers in play, but then again, they could be anywhere. Typically, it's a local explorer or explorer 1 node away. So maybe again, it's definitely too premature talking about this. But again, I like this game so far. I like what I see. It's beautiful to look at. The components are amazing. I'm really looking forward to my 3rd episode. Let me know what you think, what I should be doing next. Really open to your suggestions and recommendations and whatnot. I definitely need all the help I can get. And yeah, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members out there. Really do appreciate all your support. If you want to support me, you can find my link to Patreon, or you can join me here directly on YouTube. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.